Gage does have Solar Flare available, as Zeka from over the wall will deter him from that. There's the Magna Storm crash down though, the Seismic Shove onto 2, True Shot Barrage over everyone as well, and Cuz goes down in the blink of an eye, and HLE, they lock down First Blood and they get another one for their trouble.
And they are game here.
Yeah, beautifully done. Delight not going to pick up any aggro here either, as there is a minion wave, and Doctarm's moving in. Perfect is dead, ladies and gentlemen. The exhaust does so much work though. Doctarm will be able to finish that one off, but a 1-for-1, that is not what KT were looking for, as Feats of Warfare come in as well at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like a bizarre decision-making call there from Zeus to go in with the exhaust there, but he dies no matter his career, so I think the individual performances here will hold that thought perfect.
Yep. Grand Starfall comes in. Perfect is not going to be getting out of this one. Stun lasted for what felt like forever. And down he will go. That is Peanut locking that one up. Cuz going to move in. Just mainly.
Like Perfect's fault at all. Just Zeus is outplaying on every turn. He has the matchup advantage. This is a nice buffer again here from Viper. He has the matchup advantage and he just doesn't care. Still has ult, by the way.
Yep. And there is the Slicing Maelstrom. Doesn't exactly do too much here as Cuz moves in, but will get stunned at exactly the right time. Zeus avoids the slowdown, but still he is going to be dead. An assist going over to this Gwen is good as well. But BDD dies on the bottom side of the map as Zeka throws some rocks into him, and Delight feels like he's exactly where he needs to be all game long. I think we'll keep things up in the air unless Peanut can get a nice smite. Zeus is moving in, Slicing Maelstrom available as Cuz goes in before Zeus can get into the right position. Still, he goes down extraordinarily fast as well. Doctarm wanting to set up the curtains, and he's not going to be able to do so, as HLE should be able to take down Shelly here. And there is not going to be a response now that the jungler is down for KT. It is bad to worse here for the roller coaster.
Doctarm, man, remember there's a Pantheon on the other team who's being very aggressive with his positioning. Is looking for a pick on Delight. Man, remember there's a Pantheon on the other team who's being very aggressive with his positioning. Is looking for a pick on Delight.
Yeah, Charm goes in. Peanut's here though, and Zeus is also moving over. Solar Flare going to get a stun, but Delight just, it seems like he presses any of his buttons and someone dies in this game, and BDD takes
point. Like, this is a macro game from Hanwha Esports that was set up by laning. And Viper's looking to steal.
Yeah, Weaver's Wall comes on in here as KT are in so much trouble. Doctarm able to flash himself away though, and there are some knockups. Zeka going down low. Peanut as well will be taken out. And this is not the engage they were looking for. You're going to need maybe another exhaust here for this cannon, but no, never mind. It's a double kill, and this is the HLE we've been waiting for all game.
There it is. There's the overextension. There's that. This is incredibly safe. Zeus has TP, but he doesn't even necessarily need it. BDD does not, so he can't even be here.
Well, Doctarm is going to be able to throw in some grenades here. Delight taking a little bit of damage is perfect. Moving on over. True Shot Barrage not going to hit the mark. As Cuz, if they want to get something done, he's going to have to get in there pretty dang soon. I think he's going to be able to get there, and it's the steal away. Peanut also going to get blown up by that bullet. And HLE lose their jungler and the fight for the Otacon. And Wolf, oh my god, this team has to stop doing the ability to decide when they want to engage. Delight was low. KT did their homework, it worked out, and HLE didn't have to really do that. As now, Infernal Soul on the table, Peter taking a lot of damage and will just blow up. The exhaust comes out from beyond the grave, but now 4 versus 5. This is not how KT want to be doing this, and so they're going to have to give up the Infernal Soul. We're pretty sure, as now Peanut with a little bit of a shield wall, and I don't know whether Cuz is going to be able to get in here and take this one out, as Deadly Flourish almost gets it done, and now Charm is going to connect. Over the wall goes BDD, managing to find one. The resets are starting to come in, but Zeus gets over the wall. BDD in so much trouble, and he will be able to get the Fox Lady. And HLE, they've got Infernal Soul now. This is a lot more dangerous. Zeka, Zeus, and Viper, they are representing a lot of damage. Cuz gets over, finds a Cyclone onto Viper here as Peanut comes in. But Peter doesn't get the Solar Flare, looks for the Shield of Daybreak. He flashes in between 2 walls and is feeling very uncomfortable. We'll get a bit of a shield here though, as Delight still looking for a little bit of an angle. The Magna Storm is decent. There goes Peter finally, but they trade it for Delight immediately. And now Peanut gets in there, blows up the monkey very, very quickly, but he might actually be sacrificed for it. No, BDD not able to quite get there. Doctarm and BDD trying to stop Zeka from just murdering them. Look at this. The amount of damage this Talia does is kind of absurd. As Doctarm walks forward, gets that last bullet, and then says, no, I don't think I have very much more left in the chamber.
Is just like, I can clean up if we need to.
And now the Weaver's Wall going to break this one up. Viper gets over the wall, but look at this. The dragon is angry. and it eats two immediately. BDD now going to be the next target here as Cuz is flying the wrong direction. And now Viper, realizing that he can just arcane shift forward, will just take down the Ahri. Peter is going to respawn and wonder what the heck he's respawning into, because the Angry Dragon comes down from the sky once again. And KT, unfortunately, will not be able to fight back at all. They just lose, and that will be their Nexus going down. HLE, yeah, they gave them a couple of opportunities, as they like to do, but this is, in the end, pretty elementary.
Yeah, they certainly want to get... Okay.
Zeus just doing the going in thing as the dragon comes down. That is going to be the ace.
All right. Well, they wanted to wait for minions is why they were standing there, is what I was going to say, but they also wanted to wait for champions to come out of the fountain to kill them, and then kill the Nexus, which they promptly do. And while I think the rate of flashes, but you feel fantastic about this one, so they're going to look for a redive. I don't know about this.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, everyone. That's what you're supposed to do.
Lives
almost goes down. Perfect is going to be able to get the rest of these minions as the zombies.
Resistance shred on his Gatling gun. Doctom.
A little bit of a tag there from Doctom onto Zeus. Only level 5. Spear going to miss, as we can see, but the sidestep has to come in, so Zeus knows he will not be able to get away. Frost shot just a little bit too strong, and Doctom able to put down the Jace. That is great here for KT.
Ash and the Scion composition, if you have that front to back, it is very strong.
Oh yeah, Peanut in a little bit of trouble here as the Impale just avoided on both sides. Gorgeously played here by KT. The takedown not quite enough as Peanut pushes Cuz into the wall. Peter is following them though as the Winter's Bite comes down. Viper cleanses the slow. They get rid of the Victor, and now Cuz has pounced back in. The drive-by onto the Scorpion. And what's like, KT, how are they all still alive?
I mean, they just played it so well there, and Peanut gets...
Is able to clear up the backline pretty comfortably now. And so I think that the Victor is going to be A-OK. Peanut moving in, looking for a little bit of a target. The arrow going to come on through here from Doctom, but there are a lot of bad guys in this area, and he is just dead. Cut down by the piercing arrow. Nicely played there by Viper. Cuz gets here a little bit too late as now BDD and Zeus are fighting. Perfect will show up though. Roar the Slayer to slow him down. The flash comes in, but the rocket is prepared.
Maybe you were onto something today, Atlas.
Well, I did say it had to be a 2-0. Feel like it's the same power level as Zeka. Zeka is really going to struggle to get out of the way of this one. Peanut's going to move over, but it looks like with a flash, it is going to work out here for Zeka. And the kitty cat going to get closed in on by Viper, who locks down yet another one.
Cuz he was able to outplay the Impale.
Direction to Valkyrie, does so. Magical Journey comes on through. The flash forward from Delight gets the flash out from BDD. And the Arcane Storm comes in. Will he have his Valkyrie available? The answer is he doesn't need it because he's got a Braum coming up. As Perfect has just gone Battle Scion now, as he won't find the Roar of the Slayer, but does hit a little Q onto Zeus. The flash forward, Spear will connect. And Cuz able to get on over there to at least watch him go down.
All right, Zeka's going to get a turret in exchange here, but that is a massive win.
Yep, they're pushing them all away. This is going to be Cloud Soul Point going over to KT.
Zeus, I mean, look at him pushing the bottom lane. I think they're just simply going to give this up. I mean, he can TP in, but it's going to be very awkward to force a fight.
And you never want to give it up. You never want to let him down, Wolf.
No.
But it's what's going to happen this time around. Peanut not going to be able to get in there, and Cuz should be able to lock this one through. There it goes. And now Zeus could be in trouble. Remember, Perfect doesn't have the ulti, but he's still so sticky, able to slow down this Jace. He's walking the wrong direction, and BDD, if Perfect doesn't have the damage, BDD definitely does.
It's just kind of bizarre decision-making in that moment. I understand the idea of just letting the Drake go and trying to push Zeus into the side.
Yeah, and whoever has the vision has so much control because they have all of those poke tools. HLE going to move in, but they're not going to be contesting this Cloud Soul. As Peanut wanting to set up for a potential Impale. He'll find a Braum who has the door up. They still manage to take him down though as the Tempered Fate will connect onto Cuz. Great double knock up here as now Zeus is out of the fight, and BDD is so incredibly big. Viper unable to stand and deliver with these auto attacks. And KT, they've got the Cloud Soul, they had to sacrifice.
They just cannot stay.
Yeah, and the reason, okay, never mind, we got a bit of a fight here as Delight is already very dead. Peanut crashes on forward, but the turret is going to go down, and now Zeus off on a flank angle is going to nail Doctom with that Shock Blast, actually picking the gap there quite beautifully. But still, KT get exactly what they're looking for. What's up? And Delight can throw down the
Peter.
Arrow is going to connect onto Peanut, sorry. And they get rid of him. Great knock up there just to make sure that the Skarner is not getting out, because this could equal Baron time as well, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that was so well played. Peter goes over there, identifies exactly where the Skarner is. They put an arrow on him. He can't steal. And that's Otacon. Viper, where are you going?
Well, the train has left the station, and so has Viper. They do get a fantastic Tempered Fate, but the Arcane Storm does absolutely nothing. Perfect just gets into the mix, but Zeus takes out Peter. It's a noble sacrifice, though. And down goes Viper as well, who was just a little bit of an Owen Wilson there behind enemy lines. Not able to get it done. KT, they'll go back to what they wanted to do before, and they have had a monopoly on these objectives, only losing out on, I think nothing.
That's
actually
fine.
Nothing. Every neutral objective has gone to KT this game.
Yeah, though, every single one. That sign that we keep showing is this, Cuz has to live for KT to live. And
that comes out is followed by like a smite happening, and Peter is now caught, but he flashes away. It's a different story here. Is now Peter, I'm not sure about that one, Peanut, but the Tempered Fate not really doing anything for HLE's benefit. KT had just spared some turret shots.
It's KT also in this game where they're constantly holding on to the control. You know, they're never letting it go. They're taking a lead and pushing it so well. And we haven't seen KT get as many leads as they'd like to, especially some of the early game drafts they've picked. But this time, they were able to get it early, and they just won't let it go. And I'm not making any errors. Zeka, on the other hand, is making a big error here.
Yep. There is an Elder Dragon. Some bounty gold coming on through here, but there's the dragon comes down from the sky. Winter's Bite is pretty powerful. And Passive Blows procced, and that is the main wave clear now dead. More decisive than game number 1.
And I stand by. I don't think this draft was better for KT, but sometimes comfort can be enough, man. And Perfect on this tank, Cuz on his Nidalee, Ductum on his iconic Ashe.
BDD on this Corki that he's like dominating on, watching him Valkyrie over this base gate, looking like he's having the best time ever.
Sometimes if you're just the better team.
Yep. BDD just walking the dog, man. Look at him go. There it is. Taking down the Jace. Peanut going to get snagged by the arrow, and it doesn't matter how many times he gets Mikhails, he is still dead. Down goes Viper as well. It's a double kill here for BDD on the 9-0-4 Corki. There goes the Nexus, and KT, they'll take game number 2. Don't ask me what it means, but it was an impressive game.
With the Nico, you know, Pop Blossom plus the Jarvan ult, plus the ability to follow
also,
up flag
think about the
drags.
Cataclysm.
Very nearby, and their mid laner was not anywhere nearby, so...
Delight is nearby. So is Viper, though, and they're flashing for it. Cocoon barely missing. And Perfect is just going to go down. That is first blood going over to Viper of all people. And just a little bit of an awkward position.
Late rotation from Viper.
All right, Peter going to get a snare onto Delight. He doesn't have a large health bar as he goes up into the sky, but the Spider does have to come down. So that is going to be a kill going on over to Cuz. A pretty happy Jarvan here who does want to get accelerated in this game.
I mean, Zeus didn't have ult, but...
I don't know whether that just makes him a gardener or something, but I don't know.
I feel that way when I clean a litter box in the morning.
Yeah, well, Peanut feels that way right now as he is in a little bit of trouble, but the rest of his team's here to try and defend him. Good flash out from Cuz, but Zeus there to defend him immediately. Great knockup from the Fates Call, though, and they execute the Ambessa. And now Delight just has to try and bail out of it. But look, Zeker's also losing a trade here in this mid lane. And it's not over yet. There's the Cocoon landing, the Ren to slow down Delight. The flash forward from Peter. He's not giving this Spider any way out. And KT back on the board in a big way.
Yeah, I feel like KT may be the team to punish Honorable IV moments before. And it's seeing KT do really smart things and be a 5-man unit that only comes around once in a while.
Yep, Delight gonna have to flash immediately here as well. They turn the Cocoon onto him because Delight knows that he has no other way out. And it is now just the Goon Squad, man. They're just moving around, looking to try and take down everyone that they can find. It is gonna be one of the grubs being taken here, but that is still gonna be feats of strength able to go over to KT, or at least a third of one, as now Perfect just back into domination position here.
And KT will take the rest of the grubs, so at least Peanut was able to get one. He's also kind of hanging around here because Zeka has prio.
And it used to be that taking one of the grubs felt really good because you denied like the objective and all that sort of stuff, but now it's not the case anymore.
Plays so far this game already.
Yep.
Viper.
Oh dear. Well, Pop Blossom is going to come on through there, and Peanut comes on over, but Viper is already dead. So Peanut gets in there, throws out a thing, and then says, no, I will leave. and does so. Now Cuz coming on over, gets the flash out of Zeka, and then puts him in the Cataclysm. And he's just waiting for some way to get out. He is going to be able to do so as, oh my goodness.
Don't do it!
That's a tilt.
Don't do it!
He hits him with the flag and takes down the Azir. I really thought that Cuz was just going to somehow die in that situation.
Yeah, me too.
But
I
he
was like,
doesn't.
no.
And is moving on over, but I don't know whether they'll quite get here in time if they do decide to go for the dive. The shovel comes out as Peanut. Let's see whether they can actually finish him off before this bottom lane arrives. Peanut having to flash because the Ghoulie Wall caught him in a very awkward scenario, and Cuz, of course, going to get on in here. Public execution comes down, but Cuz, eyes on the prize, and is going to be able to take down the overgrown Poro. Peanut nowhere to go and will just be eviscerated. So Cuz continues the onslaught, 4-0-3.
Zea's stack.
As they will get another charge, maybe not quite as glad, as we'll see whether a Ghoulie Wall is going to come on through. It's not.
Delight's going to just zoom away with his dash cannon, but I think for KT, you're very happy because, well, it might be happier.
Yeah, Viper is just going to get cataclysmed. Flashes out of that one. Does definitely have to do so as the Fates Call comes in. Peter finds the Pop Blossom and down goes Peanut. Not a whole lot to fight for at this point in time because, of course, the Dragon just went down. Otacon's not up for another.
The turret from Zeus' play, which I don't necessarily agree with the play, is significant, like you say, because of the control. Cuz gets taken out here. Nice ultimate there from Viper.
He is going to be very strong.
So this moment here, even though it's not successful at getting the kill, and like it's a really nice Fates Call, plus Tibbers, all that damage comes through, helps them clear out the wave, and so they can keep that wave. And that's significant because, like you said, this Dragon is KT's only thing to fight for. They're catching Zeus.
This would be a better kill, as there's the flash forward from Doctom. So many sticks, and down he goes.
Uh-oh.
Right before the Dragon. And I said the last kill could potentially impact the Dragon. It turns out, yes, it could, especially if he dies again as the flash Tibbers. The repel does come on in though. Peter with the Pop Blossom is fantastic. Empress Divide from Zeka, but he's so low. Perfect's going to be able to get on top of the Azir, and Cuz is still fighting. Doctom is massive. Delight manages to get out. Viper as well, but they're not going to be stopping this Infernal Soul. KT?
I mean,
really? Not the right Nico. Zeka throws out the Emperor's Divide, but it's very defensive. But maybe it's defensive enough as Viper just going ballistic. Doctom gonna go down, and there is the KT throwaway. Ladies and gentlemen, HLE, they picked their moment, and this was about the last chance they had.
Viper said, you know what? I will clean up the fight. I will pop off at the end of it. All those low health bars. Viper goes in for the chase. And once again, Viper will clean up HLE's mess, and KT will not be the first team to punish what has been otherwise a very shaky HLE, and the 11th time in a row. I mean, HLE now going up to 12 wins.
All right, there are 2 minions here. There are a lot of minions here. So Peter, he's going to do his very best to try and defend this, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. As now BDD comes over, he's flashing forward. Okay, half the health bar on the Nexus. Can they keep it alive is the question, as Viper needs another couple of shots, and it's saved. That one out, as you can see here, HLE had started this one up, but BDD has found Delight. He spotted out, it was a cunning ruse, but it's not going to quite work out. There is now Viper looking for Cuz. He just flags and drags and gets himself out. And now Fates Call going to come on through. Down goes the Nico, but can KT actually find an angle as Peanut goes down? Now the only smite is over the side of KT. The flash forward, down goes Viper. Delight, can you save the game? The Nexus turrets are respawning, and he cannot kill them. Oh no, the itsy bitsy spider, he went up the spout, but he didn't read the patch notes!
Oh no, Delight didn't track those.
It takes down the Elder. Peter will find the Pop Blossom before going down, and Zeus is having to flash out of there. BDD gets over, destroys the Lucian. The Empress Divide goes down, but you cannot divide by Dragon. And KT will get the ace, and they are going to win this game.
And Hanwha Life fans not happy. KT rolls to say 50-50 on an Elder. You want to flip it. Doctom likes those odds. When he's got a rend, they have the smite. Cuz secures it. They had full control on Zeus' flanks. Both of them 2 back-to-back accomplished nothing on this 3-8 Ambessa. Bit of a jungle gap, I think, in this series. Cuz showing up big. They've been calling him the Dragon Slayer, and he slayed the biggest of them all.
He slayed all of them. Actually, every single one. Only the Otacon, but that's not a dragon. That does not count. And KT join Gen G as one of the only teams to defeat HLE this season. absolutely absurd.